You're listening to The Real Deal Conversations, a podcast designed to encourage, inspire, and equip you by sharing real stories and meaningful conversations that bring real life to the surface. I'm your host, Megan Deal. Let's dive in. This episode is brought to you by Ozark Veterinary Clinic. All right, I am back with Whitney Guison this week, but Whitney's always my special guest, but now we have a special extra guest.
Wow, Whitney's not as special.
No, Whitney.
I love being the special guest always.
Special number one. But we have Grace Gooley with us this week.
Special number two.
Special number two. You know what? I've been watching a lot of clips of Seeking Sister Wife. And where's
this going?
Hold on.
This wasn't on the prompt you gave us.
Because they go like sister one and sister two. Uh-huh. And so Whitney's my sister one.
No,
I'm my sister two.
No, I reject that. I just reject it.
I rebuke it in the name of Jesus.
We all have our guilty pleasures, I guess.
I only watch the clips because I'm going to let you know the whole show, I think, would just stress me out.
Oh, yeah.
Just the clips stress me out.
What's it called?
It's called Seeking Sister Wife. And I'm telling you, these guys are... Just watch the clips on TLC.
Well, but like the girls too, you know?
I know,
if you're
but
like, okay,
I just
cool.
feel like these girls are super like insecure and just going along with it. Just watch the clips.
Oh, no.
It's really bad.
Well, now my phone probably heard everything you just said, and it's going to start popping up everywhere.
Now you're going to watch them whether you watch it or not.
They're going to be on everything.
I think it's... This one guy was like, God told us. And I was like, I don't think he did. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I was like,
I have a story that I want to tell,
Please
but
do.
I can't because if I tell it and the person listens to it, they'll know I'm talking about this.
Is it a sister wife?
No.
Oh.
It's a God told me story. But no, maybe after.
I don't love those God told me stories.
Real
I'm
deal
just like,
conversations after dark.
When record has not been pushed.
I love it. Okay. But on actual topics today, just dealing with, being a mom and having a career. And that's actually why I asked Grace on, because we're all three in our kids are different age groups.
Grace, how old are your kids?
I have a 4.5-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yours are a little older. You have a younger one, but.
I have a 4-year-old,
Yeah.
an 8-year-old, and a 9-year-old.
Okay. And then I have one in cooking, and then I have a 9-year-old, 13-year-old.
Honest to goodness, everyone needs to know that you just pointed to your belly because it sounds like you have a chef as a kid.
Or I stuck it in the oven.
I was like, for 1 second, I was like, what?
No,
but I got it.
Cooking in the belly, making my life miserable. It's okay though. She will be worth it. It is a girl, and it'll be okay. So, and then anyway, we have a 16-year-old, almost 16-year-old. So we're different seasons of life with kids, but then also different seasons personally. Like we all have our own thing that we're navigating while having a career. And I think it's a very real thing for women to experience different things in that. And I want to kind of bring that to the table. I actually have some stats. I don't know if I agree with all of them, to be honest with you. So I'm going to read the stats, and I think that's kind of how we're going to talk about, like, are you experiencing this? Is this real and true for you?
Fun.
What does, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I love stats.
I know.
And I love it when we just outright reject stats.
So
I'm curious of how this is going to go.
I know. And they're Harvard stats. So
well,
the fact
can't
that
reject Harvard.
I know. So the fact that I'm kind of like, I don't know about that.
You're like, Harvard? I don't know. If Moses said it.
I know.
Yeah.
Right, guys.
Sorry. Okay. I had to bring it in.
First of all, what's everybody's, like, so currently I am a business owner, and then I have the podcast, and I'm also mom to 3, but navigating an extremely difficult pregnancy with just being insanely sick. Mm-hmm. And so not really being present for my kids right now, which my husband's having to make up a lot of that, which I'm so thankful for. There's a lot of guilt, though, of like, hey, I'm not like fully here, because in the evening, my sickness is so much worse. And that's kind of where I'm at in career and then just personal life as mom. Whitney, what is your, like,
where am I at?
Yeah, where are you at?
I got 3 kids too, but I'm not super sick.
Because you were smart.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the chamber president of a small chamber in Nixa. And that's just a weird job because hours are all over the place. And like last night, I was at a state of the community dinner. I sat on a panel. Tomorrow night, I've got like it's just like there's no real schedule. It's not 9 to 5, so it is a little weird. So my husband and I have to do a lot of juggling of schedules and who's got the kids and when we pull in a lot of help outside of the two of us as well. On top of that, I've been launching a speaking kind of job, I guess, career that I've been trying to get off the ground where I go and speak at places, and I've been doing that a lot. So I've been actually traveling a little bit. I'm starting to travel outside of this immediate area to go do that. And then my husband has his own job, his own business that he owns, and I semi help him manage it as needed. But yeah, so there's a lot to juggle. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the same. So if you don't know me, I'm Grace.
Special friend number 2.
Yeah, I'm special friend number 2. You've probably heard Megan and Whitney talk about me on the podcast. I edit all of the Around the Ozarks podcasts. I am the Around the Ozarks brand manager, so I kind of just oversee all of that. So that's one of the many hats that I wear here. I work at Midwest Family Marketing as a whole. They own Around the Ozarks. And also, I am the morning show host on 105.1 The Bull, which is also owned by Midwest Family. And so I do that. And then I also help with the business side of things at Midwest Family. I'm the executive business coordinator. So I feel Whitney saying juggling things because just it doesn't matter what time of day it is. Usually there's something going on. So I definitely rely on my husband a lot too with our little ones. But yeah, it's just whatever the day brings.
Honestly, thank God for husbands. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like
for
seriously.
real.
I always, when people like complain about their husbands and stuff, now they're in jest, like there are those things where like, just being real, like I've talked about my husband and I having differences and stuff, but in reality, when people complain about like how husbands are dumb and they're absent and they're not, and I'm just like, that's not my husband.
That's not mine
like,
either.
I think like society thinks that's like funny, and so we play off of that. I don't think it's funny at all. Like my husband's incredible. There's no way I could do anything I do if I didn't have him.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. So here's these stats, and the first one. So we'll start with you, Whitney. Do you agree or disagree? And
it's like a game.
Have you experienced this? So 50% of millennial moms and 52% of Gen Z moms have considered leaving their jobs because the stress and cost of childcare outweighed earnings. But you don't have childcare.
So we have not dealt with we dealt with childcare a little bit in not early business days. So when we first opened up our practice and owned our own business, and I was managing my husband's chiropractic office, he was the doctor, I was office manager. We had 2 little kids. And they just came to the office with us. Like we set up in the back of the office like a little room for the kids. And that's not like, it wasn't great. Like they weren't in there all the time because they were like, where's mom and dad? So they came out. And so for like a little stint, I remember we were growing because we started with nothing, right? We just opened up this office. We're like, people come see us, And as we were growing, I remember I was answering the phone to make an appointment for my husband. He's a chiropractor. I was answering the phone. A patient was checking out, and I was trying to take their payment, and I had a 3-year-old crawling on my back at the same time. Yeah. And when that was done, I turned to my husband and said, something's got to change. Like, I can't do all of this. Like, we're too busy. Before, I could check out somebody out, and they would leave, and I could turn and play with the kids, and it was beautiful, and then the phone would ring, and I didn't. But now all these things are happening simultaneously. And that's when we kind of stepped into childcare. We did that. Our 2 older kids went to daycare for probably a year. It was expensive. 2 kids in daycare is a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And it was right around COVID. So the one was supposed to be going to pre-K, but we didn't send him to pre-K because they were like distancing and masking and all this stuff. And so but we just didn't have a choice. Yeah. It couldn't be like, I think I'm going to step out of our family-owned business that makes all of our money.
Right.
To save, we wouldn't save money because I would have had to hire somebody to do what I was doing. Right. So our position, I think, was just very unique in the sense that there was no trade-off there. Like it wasn't I'll just save more money. I'll just save money and be a stay-at-home mom, which I have been a stay-at-home mom, by the way. And we did make choices early days where I did that because me getting a job made no sense because whatever job I would have found wouldn't have made more money at the time than childcare. So that was an insane, like I'm not going to do that. But in that specific instance, we didn't have an option.
Right.
Really. Like we had to do that because it's either that or we go pay somebody to do what I was doing in the office and lose that. Business ownership is different.
Even if it equaled out, you still wouldn't be able to do it. Because
No.
Yeah.
And it was for such a short time too. Like it was 1 year and then our kids started going to school.
Yeah.
And then with our youngest, our lives have been just all over the place. I mean, I think you know the details. I don't know what you know about my life, Grace. Probably nothing, which is fine. But with our
Only
youngest,
from the podcast.
Yeah. So there's a lot that's not out there. Anyway, so my point is, we have a very unique situation because I was not in a career outside of family-owned business at the time. And when you are an entrepreneur and you own your own business, and that is 100% your income. That's a whole different discussion because you're just trading where your money's going. Either it's going to daycare or it's going to a full-time person that you're now hiring to run the office for you. The money's going out either way.
Right.
So,
right. Okay. Yeah. So Grace, do you have childcare?
Yes.
Okay. So what's it look like for you?
When I first had Lucas, who's my 4.5-year-old, I was already working here. So I've only had to deal with childcare while working here. And luckily, I am very blessed with this job that I have because my boss has always been very understanding of working from home. So we were blessed with Lucas I was able to work from home and stay with him until he was 2. Because that was kind of the cutoff age where it was like, okay, now there's a child hanging on me that needs my attention more so.
And I'm happy just laying on the floor.
Exactly. Yeah. He's not just laying there and be like, okay, you good? No, that doesn't happen anymore. Yep. So we were able to do that until he was 2. And then with Liam, we were able to do the same thing. So, but we also had the help of my parents. We lived with my parents for a short stint of that time. So my mom helped out a lot. She's retired now. But yeah, luckily with what's going on here, I was able to work from home with the boys until they were 2. But then I kind of relate with that stat a lot because in our instance, I am making slightly more than what it would cost in childcare for both of them. But we do have to maneuver things. We just recently moved to Fair Grove and Lucas is at the age of preschool now, but he also he's in that weird, you could be in daycare or you could be in preschool kind of age. So my husband and I have to juggle things in the mornings because Liam truly is in daycare because he's 2.5. And so it's that's our only option. And there's really only one out there. Yeah. So not a lot of options there. There's more if we were in Springfield. But we chose to send Lucas to preschool because it was cheaper. Yeah. And it's with the school system. It's a really great program. But we definitely have to now adjust our whole schedule and weave in and out of different things. He's got one kid, I got the other. And then with this job, especially being a morning show host, just literally, I feel like we play musical chairs a lot.
Absolutely.
In the morning. Yeah. What are we doing? Just what does the day bring? What are we doing? But yeah, I think we're now at the point where we're good. We've kind of got a system figured out, but we've talked about it. We're not going to have any more kids because not that we don't want any more kids. We probably if childcare were not an issue and we didn't have to pay for it, we probably would have a third one. But just thinking about the stress of trying to juggle a third child on top of the 2 we already are juggling right now is we just decided no.
Yeah. So I legit saw. This is probably not a Harvard thing. It was a reel on Facebook, but I believe it.
That's close enough.
I sent it to my husband, and it said that parents of 2 kids feel less stress than parents of 3, and parents with more than 3 kids feel less stress than parents of 3. 3 is the worst number.
I've heard that before too.
I have 2 and I don't understand it.
I think it's once you are outnumbered. My mom said that before because I'm one of 5 children. So my mom has said before, it's once you're outnumbered, it just all goes out the window. So it's you might as well have more.
And what my parents told me, because they have 6 kids, so I'm one of 6.
Yeah.
Is that the more kids you have, they start taking care of each other, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess that's true. We have 3 kids, so I'm like, why did we stop? Not that I'm having more.
Yeah. Why did we stop now?
The whole community. I'm not having more kids.
We'll see. I'm on my 4th, so we'll see if that stat is true.
Yours are so spread out, though.
Yeah, but I forget to take my one kid to school sometimes. And it's my youngest, and it's because their school start is so late. He called me this morning, and
Where are you, Mom? You're like, oh.
I was at the coffee trailer. I believe that 3 is hard because all the time.
Because one gets forgotten.
All the freaking time.
Which one is it? We don't know.
It's so dumb. Like this morning, I was at the coffee trailer and I told Ellie, she's my team lead. I was like, Ellie, don't let me forget to leave and get Ethan for school. And then I get like in mode, and then Ethan texted me and was like, hey, are you taking me to school? And I was like, yes.
So my non-Harvard reel is 100% accurate.
100% true.
That's what we just discovered. We don't
have
know about
this,
Harvard
like,
stats, but this
I
was
know,
real.
this is. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having a fourth. Like, please don't let me forget the baby. Like, it's a real, 3 is freaking hard. But we'll see. We'll see what 4 does. So
Can I ask a follow-up question to the statistical whatever we just talked about? As moms in the room, though, there's so much more involved in the discussion about childcare than finances, right?
yeah.
I mean,
we'll
us,
get to it.
Okay.
Yeah. We got more stats.
We got more
I'm
stats.
done. No more talking.
No.
I'm waiting.
No.
I'm waiting until we get to it.
Like, there's some that kind of play into that.
All right.
But real quick, so Daniel and I, we have 3. And for me, I did not have the job background to even get like a job that was going to pay a whole lot anyway. And so I also wanted my kids to have that socialization piece, just so that they like learn to share. I don't know, just, Yeah. And so I always put them in childcare, but then worked where they went. And then that way, they got the socialization. So it would always be like preschool age. It wouldn't be like 1 year old infant. There's no necessity for them to get socialization then. But like,
you are their socialization.
Yeah. It's me that wants the socialization at that point.
Yes. Is there a mom daycare group? What a great idea.
Dude, I am telling you, that's
Coffee
one thing.
and snacks?
Yes.
When the kids were little and I was younger, like I craved that socialization. I would do like mops and all that. I'm not doing that now. Like now I'm like, man.
I'm on 4th kid. Screw it. I know what I'm doing.
Like this kid, I don't know how many play dates he's going to get because I don't want to deal with like these. I don't know. I'm not going to say it in case we have younger listeners, but
you lose some listeners who are like, screw you, Megan. I would be awesome to hang out with.
I know.
You're missing out.
Anyway, okay, but that's what I did. So 42% of working moms experience depression or anxiety due to the dual pressures of career and motherhood. And this is where I was going to kind of link it with yours. I think there's some of those feelings knowing that your kid is being raised in childcare, or not raised in childcare, but at childcare, and you're missing out on certain things and certain milestones. But what were you going to say about childcare?
So personally, when we put our kids in childcare, we put them somewhere first. I hate having to be so vague. We put them somewhere, and then 1 week later, I pulled them from that childcare because that gut gut that was just like, I hated dropping them off. I was like, if this is what this is going to be, if I'm going to feel like this every day, I can't do this. And I pulled them, and we actually found a different childcare person, and we knew this person from church. And she did an in-home. The first one was in-home as well. Somebody that was recommended to us. And after my kids started going to the second person's home, I never felt guilty about them being in childcare itself. The woman that watched them loved them. They loved her. They loved being at her house. And I think. So I have a lot of thoughts on this. So I got to be careful because I could just basically finish off the podcast and you guys would never say another word. So I think when you find the right support system, you shouldn't have feelings of guilt about not being present 100% with your kids, because that's how it. Like, we're not meant to be isolated with our children all the time. Like, that's not what we're meant to be either. I think the struggle or the depression side of a working mom, for me at least, and you guys can tell me what you think about this, it's not, oh my gosh, my kids are being raised by somebody else, because I chose who they're with, and I trust who they were with. For me, and I'm struggling with this now, my kids are not in childcare. I think the difficulty is working all day and then going home and not having the energy for my kids once I'm there. So it's not that I'm not with them all day, because we don't feel bad about sending our kids to school.
Yeah.
So why would we feel bad about sending them to daycare if that's what fits for our family and what works for our family? So for me, the difficulty and where I relate to that isn't somebody else is raising my kids. I'm raising my kids. It's that I don't have the energy that they require to be a present mom.
That's hard. What's your thought, Grace?
I actually had a similar experience with our oldest in daycare. The first one we sent him to, we were like, this doesn't feel right. And eventually we found a really good place for him. And then where our youngest is at right now is great too. So like, again, even though that was kind of an issue until we found the right place, I don't worry about that either. But I agree. Like even just last night, our oldest he's 4.5. He's had a lot of trouble just at school and just in general, paying attention, listening. Like he just does not have the attention span, and that's okay because he's 4.5.
Yeah.
But then I don't have the patience to deal with the non-attention span, and I end up feeling like the amount of times that I don't get to a point necessarily where I apologize for what he got in trouble for. Like I kind of got to watch myself. It's like sometimes I do snap at him. It's like, okay, I'm sorry that mom did that way, but also we got to remember, like, so I find myself doing that way more than I want to.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm over here wearing all my different hats at work, and then I come home and my husband is phenomenal and he does like so much for our family, and I lose patience with him. I lose patience with my children.
Yeah.
And it's like that time of chaos from like 5 p.m. to 8 until they go to bed. It's just, I feel like I'm on autopilot sometimes because I just like, I don't have the energy, but my boys, like that's the only time I see them during the day. So yeah, I would agree. That's where my guilt.
And you don't want that to be filled with snapping and anger and rushing and trying to just get them in bed because you're tired.
Yes.
And I think too, like all day you're dealing with, people in society where you have to be on your best behavior so that, you're having to be on. You're having to be on. It's you can't, and not that you're a dual personality, but you also know like I can't be tired right now in this meeting.
Yeah.
I have to be on point. I have to make sure that what I'm saying is not going to cause a riff. You're just constantly having to be on point. And by the time you get home, you are so tired from the day. And it is your safer space. And not that you're like, well, this is my safe space so I can be an asshole. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. But you're so tired. And so your guard starts to go down at the end of the day. You're at home. You're in your relaxed place. And so your family tends to get the back end of it. And especially, and this is something we talked about in the ADHD and autism episode, people with ADHD and autism struggle so much with this that by the end of the day, like they have to overthink everything in order to, because we tend not to have a filter. We tend not to fit into society great. And so we really have to be, and it exhausts you during the day. So by the time you get home, you're just like, I can't do it. And so you are tired, your family gets the back end. There is a lot of guilt in that. And it sucks because, you don't want your kids. It's like, and that's where I kind of had to go, is my career worth it? But I also overdid it. I didn't find balance. There was one point I was full-time at Big Brothers Big Sisters. While doing that, running the podcast and that, running a school board campaign. At some point you are able to say, something has to give in order for my family to have the best of me. Like something has to be put off, and you just have to prioritize and say, yes, just because I can doesn't mean I should. And then that way, in the evenings, things do get a little more prioritized. You're not as tired. But
I think that's the key though, is the priority of it, is the family. And honest to goodness, some people's priority isn't their kids. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
And also, just to piggyback off of what you just said, so it is exhausting, I guess, but also I'm not careful in the sense that I'm going to say something wrong, but I don't want anyone to judge me after this and be like, what kind of a mom are you? But the workspace is incredibly rewarding in the sense that you have immediate wins. Everybody loves you. Other adults, for the most part, know how to communicate. Then you go home with kids who are like 6, 7. You're like, what is happening? And so You guys know what I'm talking. And so you're like, what world did I just enter?
I know.
Yeah, I just left this world where people are where you're thinking and I'm making decisions and everyone's like, great, let's move forward. Or no, that's like here's the new plan and it's structured and you win.
Yeah.
To a world where there are no wins. Yeah. Motherhood is a winless world. You know?
The other night we were about to play a family game. And
which, by the way, is a win. Just the attempt.
I hate
done.
No, I hate family games because I don't know what it is, but as soon as everybody sits down for a family game, nobody gets along. I don't understand it. So I dread it, but whatever. My husband loves it. So right before, though, my teenager says, hey, can you take me? And it's evening. I'm tired. Like, it's evening, okay? Mm-hmm. And he goes, hey, I need you to take me to the store to get soap. I ran out of soap. And I said, I got soap in my shower you can use. No, I don't like the smell of that soap. Okay, I don't care. Like, I'm not taking you to the store when there's soap in the house and you don't like the smell of it. So and he was legit upset and annoyed with me. And I said, there are people who aren't getting paychecks right now because the government is shut down.
Wow, you went there.
I did.
Listen, child. That's like the starving kids in Africa story.
100% love it.
And I was like, you are so bougie. I was just annoyed. I was like, you're so bougie. And he's like, you're going to call me bougie? I'm not. And it was like this whole thing between us. And I was like, over soap.
Yeah.
Get Walmart delivery, by the way. It'll change your life.
Gosh, it is life changing.
Plug for what? Walmart want to sponsor this podcast?
Yeah,
come on,
Walmart is not a sponsor, but they
Walmart
could
Plus.
be.
They could be.
Let's do it. Come on, Walmart.
Right.
I just said your name 3 times.
Or like last night, my daughter, she wanted something too. And I think the sense of entitlement is driving me nutso. And last night, I put my foot down and I said, no. I said, you guys have got to start hearing the word no more often. This is getting ridiculous. And then it was like an eye roll and an attitude. And I'm just, it is like, again, your kids probably aren't in that stage yet. Like they don't care about what soap they're using or whatever, but
they don't use soap. It's a whole different battle, you guys.
That's my youngest.
They walk up to me and I'm like, whoa, when's the last time you bathed?
But I'm so like the evenings you're already not sharp, you're already tired, and when you have really petty things like that, your ability, where if it was a coworker who was complaining about something, obviously it's not going to be soap, you're going to have the ability to be on point and say, okay, let's talk through this, let's work through this. But then you're at home and you're tired and you're like, no.
And we know that our kids deserve that of us, though. Yeah, and that's where the guilt comes in because they deserve more from us than a coworker.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. So it's hard. It's a hard balance.
Petty things like soap, though, you don't deserve that.
No, I probably would have done the same thing with the soap, to be honest.
I'm not there. I don't know. Dude, to me, if they're asking for soap, I will go get them soap because they stink.
But we have soap in the house, and you've already used my loofah. I know you used my loofah because there's evidence on my loofah that you have used it.
Megan! There are lines, man!
I know. I was like, and I told him, I won't use it anymore. I said,
this is your loofah now.
It is. No. It is.
This
I'm done.
Is your loofah.
No, my sister has a son that age, so that's how I understand.
Don't touch my stuff.
Boys are gross.
Boys are so gross.
I am terrified of my future because I have 2 boys, but
dude,
boys are gross.
One day at a time.
And my oldest boy is just 9. The other one's just turned 4, and they're still gross. Yeah. They're just gross. They're only going to get grosser.
Now, I also want to mention, like, we're sharing the nitty gritty. We're sharing like the real. That doesn't mean that we don't have like great moments. It doesn't mean that we don't have.
Oh, for sure.
We're just sharing the real because we're trying to connect with you guys on the things that nobody talks about, not the things that everybody talks about.
Can I though just say to that the great moments for right now in my stage. I don't know. You guys can disagree with it if you want. When we have great moments in our family, it's because they're purposeful. Mm-hmm. I don't think you stumble into great moments when you're in the phase of life that at least I'm in, where I'm working. My husband's working, kids are in school, things are everywhere all the time. We're going different directions. I think the great moments in a family come because you planned them and you put away the phone and you pulled out a board game.
Oh, so true.
You turned on, we had a fire last night and we all sat down and played Go Fish, which I made up the rules because I forgot the rules of Go Fish. My kids were like, how do you play this game? I was like, well, first off, everyone gets 5 cards.
Again, say it with confidence, no egos.
I was like, then we do this, and they're like, sweet. Yeah. And we got through the game. Yeah. I totally made it up as we went. Point is, it was like I think the great moments come, at least in my phase, they aren't naturally occurring.
Yeah.
It's because my husband and I said, here's how we're going to engage with our family.
Yeah.
Because it's more important for our kids to have us than our coworkers to have us.
Yeah.
That's more important. And so what does that look like at home?
Yeah.
And that's what we've kind of established.
Yeah. We're in a phase where, because my 2 oldest are teenagers, they're not talkative. They want to be in their room all the time, da-da-da-da-da. And so I had it in my head, like, okay, they need to conversate. That's how we're going to connect. Like, if we don't conversate, they're going to, and it was about last week, actually, I had this realization. I was like, wait a minute, I'm putting way too much thought into this and overcomplicating it. We don't have to have conversations. We just need to be around each other. Mm-hmm. They're not going to remember those conversations right now because that's not what they're into. They're going to remember just being around each other. And so I had to get creative in my head and not overcomplicate it. So the other day I asked Eli one-on-one to play Uno. I'm telling you, we cannot do things as a family. I think we're just too competitive. And
I think that's what it is.
So I asked Eli one-on-one to play Uno. I was like, dude, I miss you. Like, let's play Uno. And I had to tell myself, Megan, don't overcomplicate it. Don't put expectations on this. And so we played Uno. And I didn't ask him a bunch of questions. I didn't annoy him with that, which normally I would, because I just was like, Megan, and I keep telling myself internally, because I keep putting expectations on what things should be. And I said, okay, he's not talking, just keep playing. This is going to be the memory, just playing cards, Mm-hmm. And then he starts just randomly saying things. And I was like, oh. And I didn't make it a conversation.
Then you got all excited.
Yeah, I just was like, oh yeah, And then and he's also at that stage where like smiling and getting excited is not cool.
Uh-huh.
And as we're playing, I noticed a couple times like he would start smiling and then he would immediately try and like sweet. But in my head, I'm like, I'm like, Megan, don't make it a big deal. Don't say anything about it. Don't even try and expand on it. Just internally, I was telling myself, we just made some memory in some capacity. Yeah. And so I have to be, and I'm sure there's other people who are great at that. I'm really bad at overcomplicating it and thinking that we have to have all these steps in order for this to be. And it was really good. We only played 2 games. And then he's like, hey, I'm going to go. And I let it go. And I was like, okay, this is what I need to start doing more of. Not putting expectations, being okay with not talking, but creating moments where we're at least interacting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. And speaking of like reels that you see on Instagram, I sent one to my husband the other day because it was this guy and he had kids our kids' age. And he was like, every Saturday morning I take our boys to go fishing. He's like, we never catch anything. It's terrible. He's like the 2-year-old's jumping in the river and like literally it's absolute chaos. And he said, well, this week they were somewhere else and I was able to go on my own fishing. And he said, it was awful, like in the opposite way. He's like, I realized in that moment that like I don't go fishing to catch the fish. I go there to spend time with my children.
Absolutely.
So like putting that into perspective of like, even though like 'cause my husband and I will go places because we will try to be intentional. It's like, let's go to this craft festival. Let's go to all of these things. And we get there and we're like, why did we decide to do this?
This is so chaotic.
This is terrible. Yeah. But then coming back and realizing like, if we went to this on our own, like if we didn't have the kids, like we just are going to miss them the whole time. Like,
and don't you love it when after that and you get in the car and you're like seething, right? Because they were running 4 different directions and you're like, no one listened to me and I had to buy a funnel cake, And then they get in the car and they're like, oh, best day ever. And you're like, what?
I know.
Whose day were you sharing?
Not this one.
Yeah. But the kids, they don't.
I know.
Kids have a lot of grace for their parents. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, good parents, crappy parents. I don't know. I don't know you. But good parents who are trying, I think kids have a lot of grace for them. We have to give ourselves a little bit more grace, Mm-hmm. We don't have to be perfect. We just have to try,
But I think that's for women. And actually, I think that's, let me see.
Oh, is there a stat?
I think there is about women and the pressure. Oh, that was it. That was kind of the pressures of career and motherhood. But I agree with you. Like, you put so much pressure on yourself. Like if you're an overthinker, like I am, you overthink everything. You overanalyze everything. And everything is, oh no, we're doomed because I was not present tonight or present all week, or, there are moms, single moms. My heart goes out to single moms, who are navigating 3 jobs, and it is a lot. And for women, I don't have, when I was working, right now we own the business and I do the podcast, so I have a lot of flexibility. But when just last year, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the podcast, I was busy all the time. I have a problem also hyper-focusing. What I'm doing, I'm going to hyper-focus on. What I'm not hyper-focused on really falls into the weeds. And so my problem was not feeling bad having a career. My problem was I hyper-focused on my career. Yeah. And then in the evening, I was spinning. It was like, okay, what can I be doing now? What can I? And I couldn't shut it off. And so I actually enjoyed... the depression and anxiety for me in having a career comes with the ADHD side of it, where you're boxed in and you hit walls and then you crash and burn. There's a whole lot of things with ADHD and women and careers. That's where my depression and anxiety came in. It did not come in with motherhood. There was guilt. But there was no oh my gosh, I got to quit my job, because I enjoyed working. I enjoyed it all. I mean, I did crash out, I did burn out, and I did have to step away. But that was not motherhood. But there is the guilt. I would say there was guilt, not depression and anxiety. So our next stat, shall we agree or not?
Oh, were we agreeing or disagreeing?
I know. Well, this stat, I'm going to kind of...
we lost that.
So this stat is kind of... I'm going to read it, but we're not going to so much talk about it because we just kind of talked about it. But 54% of working parents, higher among women, report work schedules often clash with parenting duties. 43% say guilt over not spending enough time with children is a major challenge. So we've already talked about that, but I'm at least giving you the stat for
Harvard stat.
The
Harvard stat. Or Instagram reel. You pick. Which one was it?
Ooh, that would be a fun game. Is this a reel or a stat?
Oh, yes, that would.
Where did I get this information?
Dude.
Maybe next time.
Content ideas. Okay. 74% of mothers with children under 18 are participating in the labor force. Nearly 40% of mothers with children under 18 are equal primary or sole earners for their families. I don't have an opinion on this personally. I just thought this was a fascinating stat. Yeah. And the reason I thought it was fascinating is that nearly 40% of mothers are primary or sole earners for their families, which I don't know if that's saying where our economy is. I don't know. Why? That was very interesting to me. I did not, you think traditionally that the men are the sole earners unless it's a single household.
Well, I imagine that a lot of this is single households, which tend to fall towards women without a husband or a father in the home.
Yeah,
that's true.
Families without fathers in the home.
I think it's I don't know. I guess maybe I shouldn't be shocked by the number. I was just shocked by the number.
I think a lot of things, though, have flipped from that thought of the dads being the primary, breadwinner. Because I know a lot of moms that are that. Also know a few people, I guess I should say know of a few people. I'm not directly connected, but just through the grapevine, people just who are becoming stay-at-home dads while the mom has full career. I don't think that in my opinion, as long as one of the parents is still heavily involved. So I don't think that's an issue. I don't think it's an issue either. Yeah.
I don't think... to me, I know for some people who are super traditional, they're like, what? But to me, I'm like, I don't know. I think that's kind of cool because now you're getting
my husband's a better stay-at-home parent than I am. I'm just saying.
My husband, I feel is a better parent in general than I am.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's what I said. I just added stay-at-home.
Yeah.
I can remove that.
Stay-at-home.
Yeah.
He's just a better parent overall.
He's more.
Listen, I'm gonna tell a story. Here it goes.
Yeah, please do it.
Here it goes.
This summer. Yeah. So my husband ended up being the default parent because he had a lot of health issues, had to close his practice. I had to become the primary breadwinner for the family. And so over the summer, he was home with the kids. And I get home from work one day and it was dinner. I made dinner and he called the kids up from downstairs. So he yells everyone's names and they all ran upstairs immediately.
Yeah.
No second call. No what?
Yeah.
They all ran upstairs. I was like, what happened? He was like, what? I was like, why are they all up here? He was like, I called them up here. He was like, but they came. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, how? Why? How did this happen? And he was like, well, when I called them, they come. I was like, is that like a dad thing? Like, I don't understand. And he was like, don't they do that for you? No.
Yeah.
Never?
Not.
To this day, they don't do that to me. And he's like, well, you got to make them do it. I was like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that
sure
you're here.
tried.
Yeah. I'm like, I pulled them upstairs the last time and they didn't change anything. Anyway, so.
My kids, like, they get me to the point of having to yell before they finally listen. And then they're shocked that I yelled. And they're like, why are you so mad? And I'm like, if you would have listened the first time, like, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, though, dads, they're different. They got a different relationship with the kids.
But mine is even, like, Daniel's patient, and he's super active with them. I don't know. He is just a great dad. And he I'm really, really good with, like, the infant stage, the toddler stage. Daniel is too, but, like, the older they get,
I'm older all the way.
Really? Daniel,
the more they can tell me and comprehend, the more I like them.
Yeah. Let's just talk about why you're screaming at me right now.
But
can you please tell me? Yeah.
I mean, like, my 9-year-old stood in the doorway this morning, my doorway with his head against the door jamb. And he was just like, Mom. And I was like, nope, not a good way to start this. And he's old enough to say, okay.
Yeah.
I shouldn't start pouting because Mom hates that. You know? And he fixed everything, and we had a conversation. Like, I can't do that with my 4-year-old.
Yeah.
I sure as heck can't do it with a 2 or 3 or a 1-year-old, you know?
Yeah.
So the older they get, I'm like, I like you more and more because we can talk, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just a me thing.
I definitely think I'm more like you, Megan, in the sense that like that's kind of how we're getting out of this stage. But for a while, since we had 2 kids, Chris kind of took the older one and I had the baby because I mean that's just kind of how it has to work for a while.
Yeah.
And it's still kind of our youngest is now kind of old enough to communicate a little bit, not a lot, but I definitely was the one that gravitated towards the younger ones and just kind of can help that. But yeah, as they're getting older, my husband's like, he is able to deal with him so much better than I can because my brain is still in the mode of like schedules and like infant needs to this at this moment.
Naps,
blah, blah, blah.
food,
But like
yeah.
my husband's like, just take them outside. Let's just go outside and
You're like, whoa.
like what?
I know, but I don't.
What would they do?
What are you talking about?
I know. I don't have patience.
Yeah.
I don't have patience.
Me neither.
I
think the moral of this stat is that moms and dads both have a place in the home for sure.
100%. Yes. Okay, so this is a stat
How many
that
stats do you have?
7.
How many have we done?
In fairness, I am watching the time to make sure we get.
No, we're good. We're
okay.
We're gonna do this.
Here's the thing. I did tell Grace to choose 5 and she didn't. So if you're
choose one.
No.
I thought you
Grace.
said
I know.
I thought you said choose
Grace-
one, and so I was like, the first one's great.
Grace
Special
slapped.
guest 2 totally got ruined
slapped.
the whole thing.
That's why she's special guest too.
You're gonna be demoted. We're gonna make you special guest 3 next time.
Man.
Oh, gosh. Okay. I don't know. I don't love this stat.
But of course, we're gonna talk about it anyway.
We are. And I don't love it because I have been a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. And then I've also been career mom. Mm-hmm. And I don't think... so let me
Read
tell
the
you the
stat. I'm so curious.
Okay. Children of working mothers are more likely to be successful professionally. Daughters of working moms are 1.21, very specific, more likely to be employed and 1.29 times more likely to hold supervisor roles than those raised by stay-at-home mothers.
I got thoughts.
Okay, please, because I don't love it.
Grace, do you have thoughts?
I do have thoughts.
Okay.
So I don't dislike it. I think it's probably 100% true.
Really?
But I
Okay.
just don't assign any values to that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's where people might hate it. I think it's true.
Okay.
Because when I was a stay-at-home mom, my son and daughter played family. That was their game.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I was now as a working mom, they play go to work. That's their game.
Okay.
And so I see the difference in how their play is.
Yeah.
So I don't doubt at all that daughters of stay-at-home or of working moms are more likely to go out and get a job versus be a stay-at-home mom, which is what their mom was, if that's what their mom was. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that that's good or bad or anything. I think it's just information.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
My thoughts are I can agree with what Whitney said, but thinking about my upbringing and my life, my mom was a stay-at-home mom until my youngest brother, like she waited until he was in kindergarten. So like well into my like elementary school, my mom was staying at home. And I'm doing fine. Like I am not in that path. Again, I love my mother to death. We do kind of butt heads about that a little bit. Like, because that's in her mind, like that is what needs to happen. Like stay with your children, which I'm like, Mom, I really have like the sweetest deal possible here. Like I am kind of able to do that with my job, but still, because my thing is one day these children are going to leave me. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of my overall viewpoint of that is I want to put as much love and care and focus into upbringing my children. But again, like, I don't want to get into an unhealthy space of, which I'm not saying everybody does this, but some people I think can, of just like focusing so much on that aspect to then once your child needs to like kind of grow up and get their own like feet underneath them, like not being okay with that. So, I mean, there's a balance there for sure. So, I mean, I think there could be some weight in that for sure, but based on how I was raised and then what I turned out to be.
Well, but that though, what you just said doesn't make that inaccurate.
Yeah.
Because I also was raised in a family where my mom was a stay-at-home mom and I'm a working mom, you know? But I think it's just the likeliness.
But yeah,
you and I just didn't do that. Wow, I'm hitting things.
I think
I'm so excited.
I think there is a lot of value in being a stay-at-home mom and raising your kids at home in their younger years. I doing that and then moving to career, I missed so much. One, I would hyper focus and I could only funnel so much information into my brain anyway. And so I was missing things left and right because I was forgetting they had this, I was forgetting they had that. And I was just not sharp. Stay at home, man, I was everywhere, everything. Granted, it's because I was also bored and wanted to be.
Well,
I mean,
if you
genuinely,
hyperfixate, you would hyperfixate on that. Because that's what you had.
And so I was present. I was everywhere. I was doing everything. Like I didn't miss anything. So I do think there is a lot of value relationally, and I'm saying that for me. I'm not saying as a whole because some people are great at multitasking. I'm not.
Well, all I'm saying though is that there's no value point to that stat. Well, it's just information.
Well,
you know?
So hold on. So so that information there, but I also feel this way. I have a daughter. I'm about to have 2 daughters. I think it is extremely important for a woman to have a career. And the reason why is because if you get into a marriage and something happens and you've been solely dependent on your husband and you don't have a career, you don't have your own identity in that space, you don't have your own, what am I good at? And something happens, you are stuck. And you are stuck because you are relying on the one person who is your lifeline because you did not go out and have, if Ellie wants to be, or this one in here, wants to be a stay-at-home mom, I am all for it. But I really would hope that they would start out with a career or something, finding their identity first. Because when being a stay-at-home mom, that was me. We got pregnant and then I didn't do anything. First of all, we were super poor because we couldn't even afford childcare anyway. This is before preschool or whatever. But and I honestly, you're stuck. And I do think that is why some women are stuck because they know that I'm in this. I can't leave because nobody's going to hire me. I think it makes you stuck. I don't think it's a good thing. So I do think women, for that reason, should. And I would encourage my daughters to have a career and have an identity, have your mom identity, which is beautiful and wonderful, but also have the you identity.
And we work a lot with Harmony House with Around the Ozarks. So that specific story is super common. But yeah, I think just going back to the stat, I don't want people to think that you have to work in order to instill in your children that is important.
Correct.
I think that's what it all goes back to. Because I mean, if you told me today, hey Grace, I'll give you I'll pay your salary and you can stay home with your children. I would absolutely always pick my children for sure. But you can have a balance and you can have your own sense of identity in being a working mom and also still balance things to take care of your children.
Also, 1% isn't a lot.
What now?
It says 1% more likely. The stat
It
was
says 1%. I missed that part.
Why are we talking about the stat?
1.29.
1.29 is that more like?
Which isn't likely, but it's
What
still
does that even mean?
because it's still a little
I need
more.
Google to interpret this stat for me.
But I do think
They're slightly more likely.
Slightly more likely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was a really good discussion on a 1%
But no,
chance.
I do agree with you though, and I agree with you when you said they play house and now they play career or work or job.
I'm going to a meeting is what they say.
What? I mean, what you present, that's the way you raise your child. I mean, the way you raise your child is more likely how they're going to, whether it's emotionally, socially, whatever, they are more likely going to do it. Mm-hmm. And so I agree with everything's been said. Mm-hmm. I think there's so much room for so much to be true.
Mm-hmm. I think any kind of reaction or response to that stat, though, is because we've assigned some sort of value to working or to staying at home.
100%.
And I think to all of our points is there is value in both of those arenas, depending on what your circumstances and what you can do.
Yeah.
And so I think everyone in this room would agree. I don't ever look into another mother's motherhood and go, "What are you doing?" Like that is their motherhood to figure out, and us, our job to support as women. We need to support 1% more than we do right now. That was a joke. 1%.
1%.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, I should have made that more obvious. We needed 1% more support each other.
So funny. No, I agree. I think many things can be true, and there's value to both. Absolutely.
What works for your family?
100%. Yes.
What works for your kids?
Is so
do that.
different depending on what your family dynamic looks like.
Yeah.
This kind of goes in with the last one.
Is it 2% more?
I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. I mean, we've kind of, again, talked about this, but I at least want to say it. Kids often develop independence and strong life skills. Studies show that children of working moms tend to be more responsible, adaptable, and self-sufficient because they learn to manage routines and responsibilities early. I agree with that. And the only reason I agree with that is because there is a lot more independence involved. There is a lot more.
They aren't being taken care of, so they have to figure out how to make a sandwich.
I do say, my kids.
That's what I heard.
My kids are very self-sufficient because.
So are mine, but it hurts my heart a little bit sometimes.
I know.
I wish you were less self-sufficient.
Yeah, I could make you breakfast. They're like, I got it, Mom. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so I do agree with that. And again, going back to what we just said, not because of any right or wrong, but because your situations typically they are more independent.
I think you're forced into that if you have a job. Yeah. Like you could be a stay-home mom and still have structure and teach your kids that thing, but you don't have a choice if you're a mom working.
Yeah, I have a question.
Please ask. Yeah.
Maybe I have a thing I'm going to say.
Yeah,
and you guys can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
It is interesting though because we're Americans. I don't know if you remember this, but we're in this great culture that is very individualistic.
Yeah,
and we value that. Most cultures aren't that way. Most cultures are. I mean, it's about your community. They're communal. Yeah. And so that stat in other cultures would be like, oh my.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
That's true.
Because in other cultures, it is about taking care of each other. And it's not about being self-sufficient. It's about having a efficiency of your community and everyone taking care of each other and putting yourself last and the group first. We're weird in America. And I think we deal with a lot more mental issues here and health issues here. And is that all because we're individualistic? I don't know. I don't know if Harvard has said anything on that. But
or a real.
I haven't seen it. I will. I'll start seeing it. But I do think it's worth pointing out that I don't know if being self-sufficient is the goal of life.
All the stuff we just talked about, daycare, other cultures are like,
why would you do that?
What? You mean grandma? Legitimately.
Yeah. And honestly, I think there's a lot of value in that. And I think we are in a culture that values self-sufficiency.
And hustle.
And hustle. And work until you drop. I personally wish we could incorporate a little less of making kids self-sufficient and a little more of let's bring in grandma and grandpa and have friends and family who all take care of each other. And you don't have to take care of yourself in the morning just because mom's working. And you don't have to learn how to do these things early just because mom doesn't have the energy for it.
But okay, I think this also for women in careers, this culture specifically for women and the hustle culture specifically for women, they have to do it a little more. Because if we don't hustle a little more.
Some cultures, women aren't working.
I will.
Zero.
For us in America,
it's illegal.
Women have to hustle a little more.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
if your position or your whatever you're aiming for can easily get taken. We've talked about this. I don't know if Whitney, somewhere I talked about this, but like, don't be emotional. Don't say you're pregnant. They're not going to look at you.
Part for sure.
Yeah, like there's a lot that women have to navigate that men don't have to navigate. Like if you're pregnant, a lot of people will hide that for a long time because they don't want their boss to be like, oh, well, here in a few months, they're not going to be anything to me. They're going to be obsolete.
Or they just said this offhanded thing because they're pregnant. We don't like to talk about that, but that I think. I don't want to get into it too deeply, but...
You're on a podcast where your boss is going to listen, so be careful.
No, I am blessed with a very flexible job here that's been super helpful, but I have seen instances where it's like, and even it could just be in my own head sometimes where I feel like I can't say the things that I'm feeling that like if someone else said it would be fine, but I just am. I don't want to come off as emotional.
I know,
like all the time. So yeah,
I just thought it was worth pointing out that self-sufficiency, and we have a high value point to that in this culture. But sometimes I wonder, is that really the goal? Is that what we're driving towards? And is that how we want to continue to raise generations that are continuing to have struggles in isolation and with mental health issues and anxiety and depression? And not that all of that stems from one thing, but sometimes I wonder if we could adopt a little bit more of a communal approach to things, even just families and extended friends, to support each other more instead of just being proud that our kids can make themselves breakfast.
100%. Yeah. I am the communal thing. I'm not super there yet, only because I'm kind of a control freak with my like family, kids, everything. But I'm majorly stepping back, and this is kind of like a new thing I had to learn. I used to think success was like how much you're doing, how much you're accomplishing, how much you're achieving, and I was so wrong. I was like, success looks like, what does my home look like first? And if my home is not successful first, then nothing else matters. And I just I had a new appreciation and definition for success. And currently the way my brain works is either 100 miles an hour or I'm crashed and burned out. I have a counselor now who specializes in ADHD and autism, and I am seeing her, one, for pregnancy, but two, the thing I told her, I said, I don't know what balance looks like. I've never known what balance looks like because my brain is not wired like that. It's wired to love hustle. It's wired to love 100 miles an hour. It's very... it's a very hyperactive brain. And, but the problem is when I'm 100 miles an hour, the natural counter to that is to crash and burn and hit a wall. And it's a cycle. And so I told her, I said, I need to learn balance because when I have even like an inch open on my plate, I'll fill it. And that's the problem. I keep hitting this cycle, and I got to get out of the cycle of hustle and 100 miles. I got to find balance. And I told her, but if you ask me, well, what does balance look like for you? I'm not going to know because I've never experienced it. I've always been opposite spectrums. And so that's something that we're going to start working on is what does balance look like and how can I be satisfied with 100 miles an hour without crashing?
Because your balance is going to look very different than Grace's or than mine.
Exactly.
Because I'm not that.
Yeah.
And I would die in that space.
Yeah.
My balance is I go to the gym for an hour 3 or 4 times a week. I come home, and every once in a while the husband takes the kids away for a weekend with a clean house, by the way. Have you guys done that?
No.
Clean the house first, then send everyone away.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Anyway, but you would be miserable in my space, in my quote unquote balance, which I don't love the word balance anyway, but yeah.
I feel like I'm a mixture of the two of you. It depends on the situation. Because I do the same thing where it's like I feel like, okay, if my plate is not 100% full, then there's like an excuse right there. Like, okay, well, I could have done something there. And I really have to fight that a lot, especially now that I have children. Because I'm like, that any space that I have should go to them. Like, I shouldn't just be filling it with whatever work thing or whatever I want to do in my mind. But yeah, I also do love just being able to like have, whenever it's like me on my personal time, it's like my husband is the opposite. Like have 5 minutes of nothing. He's like, well, I guess I'll go to the garage. I'm like, yeah, he cannot sit still. But I am just like, if I could just have quiet and peace and be able to just do that. So I'm trying to, because that's hard with moms too. You don't feel like you can take care of yourself sometimes. Like you've got the work, you've got the kids, and then what? Like you just crash and go to sleep and then you start over the next day. But valuing that, like you can't pour from an empty cup. I hear that all the time. Like,
and you got to figure out what's the thing that fills you, because you know the age old, let mom go to the grocery store by herself. Stupidest thing. Like that's relaxing somehow. Grocery shopping for all you freaks. But like what is it that, like for me, that the empty home or clean home that's empty. Yeah. There was something we stumbled on that a couple years ago where we were going to go away and do something as a family. So we cleaned the whole house, and then I was like, I don't want to. I'm so tired. And my husband was like, well, what if I just took the kids and you could stay here? And I was like, I love that idea. And the house was clean. Yeah. And I just sat and watched TV in a clean, so there was nothing for me to do.
Yeah. Because I've been caught in that trap too. It was like, okay, the kids are gone and my husband's gone, but now I'm just going to clean everything.
Now you're catching up.
And then I'm like, well, that was a waste of like my energy. It's just like, can't rest. Yeah.
But like, that's not everybody's thing. Some people want to go away. Some people like, I don't know but every woman, I can't speak to men. I don't know what balances a man, but every woman really does need to figure out what is their thing. Like if you're uncomfortable not going, maybe you just have to figure out what the going looks like in varied ways, so some of the going is still somewhat restful, or if you don't care about the clean, like whatever it is for you, I think every woman has to find what the thing is that actually fills you, and not what everyone else tells you should be filling you.
Yes. And it is, you're so right. It is different for every person. Getting my hair and nails done is not self-care.
No.
That's not self-care. Spending a little bit of extra money and taking my laundry to the laundromat and having them do it and fold it, to me, that's self-care. It took something off my plate that is going to take up my time to rest. That's self-care to me. But again, somebody's probably like, I wouldn't, that's not self. It is.
Like
it's different.
Idea.
Yeah, it's different.
Well, some people would want to do the laundry alone watching TV in their room.
Because they probably find that relaxing.
Yeah.
Yes. So self-care is different for everyone, but hair and nails, to me, that's not self-care. I actually dread sitting there for an hour and a half, but I like my nails to look nice.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's different.
Yeah.
Okay, last stat.
Number 7. We're there.
Sons of working mothers are more likely to contribute to household tasks and caregiving as adults, leading to healthier family dynamics later in life.
How much more likely?
I don't. It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
1.2% more
I have
likely.
thoughts on this, and I think it's because if you are in, like, because we are all very blessed to have good, healthy relationships, and they're seeing their dads do that.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, 100%. If my sons grow up being good dads, like I credit that 100% to my husband. Yeah. Like I'm doing the mom thing for sure, but I think there's so much weight in watching their dad do that. So
So is it really the mom working, or is it they have good dads?
I think honestly, I think a lot of it does have to do with having a good dad.
I agree.
To be honest.
I agree.
So we to get a little personal, because the rest of this has not been personal. So my husband went through cancer. I don't know. We're over a year out from his last treatment, and it took him out for a while. Like before he got diagnosed, he was sleeping on the couch. He'd come home from work and just crash every single day. Like he had no energy for anyone. He got diagnosed, and then we had to close his office and all this, and like go through this honestly short but crazy hard treatment regime, right?
Yeah.
And I saw my kids devolve in that. I mean, I was stressed. Dad was absent. Literally, the rule in the house was if Dad is out in the living room, you can talk to him. But if he's in our room, you're not allowed to go in there, And we didn't even realize, now looking back, how long he was dealing with this before we knew he had cancer. Because it was like our 4-year-old's almost his entire existence. Dad was tired and didn't have energy. We just didn't know something was really wrong, So fast forward, and my oldest, his behavior he went through a really hard time, And my parents just came to visit, and they were like, wow, he's really growing up. Like, he's maturing, and they had all these praise to heap on him. But I'm going to tell you, talking about fathers in the home, I have now experienced what not having a dad in the home looks like for my family. And thank goodness it's not because he died or left us, but he was absent. He was gone on all intents and purposes. And now I see what it's like having a dad back in the home, and my kids are flourishing. And it's not, yes, my stress levels are a lot lower. So I'm sure that it's not just dad, but it is just everything around dad is different. And our family is, so I echo that 1,000% because I see the difference in my own kids in the course over 3 years of having dad who couldn't dad well and a dad who's present. And there is night and day difference with all three of my kids.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I'm very kind of grateful to see the difference. It gives me a better value. I always valued my husband, but it's changed my perspective on just how impactful having a good dad who's engaged is what that looks like in kids, you know?
Yes. And I think it's interesting too, like you saw a night and day difference in your kids because it also is a testament to kids are resilient. Like they, when they're going through one thing, that doesn't mean it can't turn around for them. So the fact that you were like, it's a night and day difference, because in case anybody's in that situation where there's a lady that comes to the coffee drive-through and something happened to her husband. It was a really bad accident or something. And so he's basically, and I think it's encouraging for people to know, like, your situation right now, it's not going to be forever. And you know what your kids are going through, like, they are resilient and there is a turnaround. Because I think when you're in the middle of it or whatever your circumstance is and you see your kids in whatever capacity that is, you do kind of get discouraged or defeated. Maybe not defeated, but
I don't know, when you're surviving, I don't think you even have those words.
But like I'm saying, because I'm thinking of some other people who are currently going through things right now. And I think what I'm trying to say is listen to what Whitney just said and be encouraged that there is a turnaround and don't feel like this is your forever. Just certain people coming to mind right now who are in the middle of it for other reasons. Yeah. But
anyway, I didn't make that took a turn. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize.
No, I think it's really important. I think it's really good. Yeah. Because I think there are women, one specifically coming to mind, that really needs to know, like, oh, so this isn't going to be forever. Yeah. So I'm really glad that you said that because I think it just helped some people.
Yeah.
If they listen.
Well, now you got to tell that person.
Now we got to tell her to listen. You
but put if on
if you're that person, listen to this one.
But if there's one, there's many.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Sure.
So anyway,
cool.
All right,
we got 12-7.
And we don't have time to get into my next thing that I wanted to talk about.
The next one.
Yeah.
We are totally going to talk about it. Grace is going to come back to talk about it, and I'm going to.
Okay.
It's about customer service, and it's customer service.
But honestly, could you imagine us transition from what we just talked about to customer service? So it's a good thing.
It'd be a hard transition.
We're like, we're going to have a moment of silence and jump into customer service.
I know. But guys, I have a bone to pick with customer service.
But will you the next time we record, or will you have already gotten over it?
I don't know.
It'll probably be another one. It's a constant.
It's a constant.
I don't know. It's been a weird week.
This is a good one, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that every time.
Because it's always a good one.
It's always a good one.
It's always a good one.
Yeah.
Gosh. Okay. All right. Hey, guys, we will see you next time. I won't see you. We will talk to you.
You will hear us next time.
You will hear us next time. Adios.